and welcome to Drinks While Looking at Framed Art in My Apartment, also known as Drinks and Frames. My name is Julie Fesco, and I am the co-curator of my Brooklyn apartment art collection. Today, we will be looking at this framed photograph of a rusty mailbox that was taken by my friend and one-time manager, Dave. But first, we will be pairing this discussion with the classic Manhattan cocktail made with rye. This is me and Dave's year-round go-to catch-up cocktail. So cheers! The image we see is an outdoor blue mailbox. Straight away, we can tell by the mailbox door that it belongs to the house or dwelling place that was assigned number 25. With obvious signs of weathering, we can conclude that this mailbox had been outside for some time. The first time I saw this photograph, it was hanging, among others, in Dave's office in New York City. It reminded me of a mailbox that you would see outside of a house in Maine. More specifically, it reminded me of living in this house in Maine, on the water, married to this hot farmer, and having special weekend beach dinners like this scene in the 1995 movie Sabrina. So I asked Dave if he had taken this photo in Maine, and to my surprise, he said no. He had actually taken it in Australia, which is pretty much on the opposite side of the world from Maine. The story is, a few years back, Dave was fed up with New York City and decided to travel to Australia. Boop, boop, boop. Mainly to take pictures of the southern coast of the country. Snap, snap, snap. Snap, snap. Anyway, back in New York, Dave and I continued to work together for another 2 years, and every time I walked into his office, I always looked, even for a brief moment, at this photograph before addressing the business tasks at hand. As time went on, and other professional opportunities came our way, it was clear that we would be going our separate ways. On Dave's last day in the office, he presented me with a gift, and it was this framed photograph. Inscribed on the lower left-hand corner, you can see Dave had titled this piece, "Still Standing." Yet, if you look at the frame that this is housed in, it's a fortress. I mean, look at those bolts. This ain't going nowhere. And lovely note, of course. So yes, I would say this is still standing, and it will continue to stand and hang on my wall for some time to come. Well, that concludes this week's Drinks and Frames. Tune in next week where we will be looking at a piece of tissue paper taped to my wall. Cheers. See you next week. Dave's the type of friend who, when you are in a restaurant celebrating your birthday and the waiter says the happy hour menu is not available at the tables, and then Dave walks in and sees the prices of the regular menu and asks the waiter to forego the rules this one time because we chose this place to celebrate a special event. And the waiter says, okay. Dave's a bridge builder. Dave's a road paver. Dave's an obstacle kapower. What is that phrase I'm trying to think of? This is truth serum. Ain't it good?